Welcome back. So, today we're going to switch things up a little bit. We're moving from the big abstract ideas into something a little more grounded stories. We're going to dive into two ancient tales that, honestly, are so simple but hold some really profound secrets for finding a bit more peace in our crazy modern lives. You know that feeling, right? Where one minute you're up because of some good news, and the next you're plummeting because of a setback. It just feels like our happiness is constantly being yanked around by things outside of our control.
Well, it turns out the sages of the Upanishads thousands of years ago knew exactly what that felt like. And they came up with this really beautiful, simple metaphor to explain what's going on inside us. And it all starts with a story about two birds on a tree.
Okay, so picture this tree. This tree is your life, it's your body, and on one of the lower branches, there's this bird that is just constantly busy. It's hopping all over the place, pecking at all the different fruits the tree has to offer. And this bird, yeah, that's pretty much us, isn't it? That's you and me, chasing a promotion, getting excited about a like on social media, or feeling crushed by criticism. The fruits are our experiences. When we taste a sweet one, we feel amazing. But when we get a bitter one, we crash. This little bird is completely wrapped up in the drama of it all. But now, look up. Higher up on that same exact tree, there's another bird. And this one couldn't be more different. It's not hopping around, it's not desperately tasting fruits, it's just sitting there, perfectly calm, majestic, and totally absorbed in its own peaceful existence. So here's the key. These two birds aren't actually two different birds. They're two parts of us. The lower bird is our experiencing self, our ego, the part that's totally caught up in the ups and downs of life. But that higher bird, that's the witness self. It's our deeper, true nature that just observes everything without getting tangled up in it. One is like a flickering reflection in the water, and the other one, that's the real thing.
So something really important happens in the story. The lower bird is doing its thing, hopping around, and suddenly it eats an exceptionally bitter fruit. A real gut punch, a major life event that just hurts. And that pain makes it stop. For just a second, it pauses its frantic search, and for the very first time, it looks up. And it sees that calm, glorious bird sitting right there. And this is the mind-blowing part of the whole story. As the lower bird gets a closer look, it starts to realize something incredible. It was never separate. The whole time, it was just a shadow, a reflection. That whole frantic life of chasing sweet and bitter fruit was almost like a dream. Its true identity, the real it, was the calm, silent witness all along. Okay, that's a beautiful idea, right? But it brings up a super practical question. If we're both of these birds, how do we actually, stop being the frantic, stressed out one and start living as the peaceful, calm one? How do we make that climb from the lower branch to the higher one? And this is what's so amazing about the Upanishads. They don't just give you a cool metaphor and leave you hanging. They give you a roadmap. And that brings us to our second story for today, the journey of a young boy named Satyakama, who basically shows us exactly how to make that climb. So Satyakama wants to study with a great spiritual teacher. Back then, the first thing a teacher would ask is about your family, your lineage. So he goes to his mom, Jabala, and she gives him this incredibly raw, honest answer. She says, look, I don't know. I was a servant. I worked in many houses. All I can tell you is my name is Jabala and your name is Satyakama. That's it. Nothing but the unvarnished truth. So what does Satyakama do? He goes to the great sage, and when he's asked the big question, he just repeats exactly what his mother told him. No shame, no trying to spin it. And the sage is just blown away. He says basically, only someone truly noble, a true seeker, would have the courage to speak the simple truth like that. You didn't flinch from the truth. The sage accepts him as a student, but his first assignment is really weird. There are no books, no chanting, no lectures. Instead, the sage points to a herd of 400 skinny cows and says, take these into the forest. Don't come back until there are 1,000 of them. This wasn't a test of his intellect. It was a test of his soul, of patience, of deep care, of dedication. And Satyakama just does it. For years and years, he's out there in the wilderness just tending to these cows. His entire education comes from the world around him, from quiet observation, from being fully present. And over time, something magical starts to happen. Nature itself becomes his teacher. First, a bull speaks to him, then the fire he tends every night, then a swan flying by, even another bird, and they all teach him different parts of the very same lesson, that everything is connected, that the outside world, the directions, the earth, the sky, and our inner world, our breath, our senses, our mind, it's all part of one single unified reality, one Brahman.
Finally, the day comes when the herd reaches 1,000. Satyakama starts the long journey back home, and when he walks into the teacher's home, the teacher looks at him and is absolutely stunned. The sage looks at him and says, "Satyakama, your face is shining. It shines like someone who knows the ultimate truth. Who on earth has been teaching you?" The boy's inner realization had literally changed him on the outside. All those years of patient, quiet, truthful living had awakened a wisdom so profound it radiated from him. So do you see the beautiful connection here? Satyakama's story is the story of how the lower bird makes the journey. His radical honesty with the sage, that was the moment he tasted a bitter fruit, his uncertain origin, and chose to look up. His long years in the forest, that was the slow, patient climb from the lower branch to the higher one. And that shining face? That's it. That's the light of the calm, majestic higher bird finally being seen. It's the visible glow of inner peace that comes when you finally realize you aren't the little bird getting tossed around by life, but the serene, eternal witness that was there the whole time.
And the whole point of these stories is that this journey isn't just for some special kid in an ancient forest. It's for us. It's a map. It suggests that our toughest challenges, those really bitter fruits, are often the biggest opportunities we get. They're the invitations to finally stop, look up, and start the journey to finding our own higher self. So I'll leave you with this question. What's one bitter fruit in your life right now that might just be an invitation to look up?